welcome to the Geek Games Podcast, episode 22. I am your host, Cody Tetrick, alongside my friend, Sam Suvak. Sam, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
It's been a day, but we're here. We're talking about video games, so that's going to be good.
Yes.
Very special episode. I'm recording from my brother's house, because I'm house sitting and dog
From
sitting.
your evil lair. Your secret evil lair.
By the end of this podcast, I will rule the world. Which is technically true because one of the games I'm going to talk about, you get to own a planet. So, who knows?
Quick question. Did you let the dog in, or are you going to have to let the dog in a minute?
She is big chilling outside the door, so
okay.
We'll find out.
All right.
If you have to, I mean, I'll show her on camera if I do. So
whoa, yeah, no, I forgot that was the rule. While you're there, she has to show up on camera at some point, so you'll have to fetch her.
Right.
Okay.
Eventually, she'll want to come inside. So.
Okay. Cool.
All right, a little bit of housekeeping. We're continuing our series on Resident Evil 5 over at geekcardgames.com/YouTube, so definitely check that out. A lot of fun stuff happening this week, I believe, is a boss fight. So look forward to that.
Yeah.
That was a really scary boss fight, was it not?
Man.
Okay, don't die.
I just got really choked up thinking about that boss fight. Gosh.
It was very scary.
It was scary. Because it kind of looked like a spider, so...
That is also true. Also, if you go to twitch.tv/geekcardgames, you can look at our archives, and you can see me failing at Destiny 2 because I thought I could grind to level 50 for future war cult.
Didn't work out, did it? And it's
got to level 5.
I'm going to say it's probably all your fault that you lost the faction rally because you couldn't get your grinding done, right? Like it's all on your shoulders.
It's true, because today I looked up and it said that 28% of Guardians went Future War Cult and 28% all donated at least one level. I feel like I could have been that one that pushed it just over to 29%. We still would have lost by 10%, but I mean, it's that 1%. It's all my fault.
Well, guess whose fault it was not?
Meg's.
I mean, it probably wasn't her fault either, but I was going to say it definitely wasn't my fault, because I just never pledged a faction.
Smart.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah. I don't know if I like faction rallies. But
I don't like faction rallies. That's why I didn't pledge for a faction.
So, we're here to talk about video games, what we've been playing. So, let me tell you all about how I keep going back video games that I know I don't have time for. I went back and started playing Neverwinter again, the D&D MMORPG. The reason I went back is because I've been listening to a lot of D&D podcasts lately. There's a podcast called D&D and D, and it stands for Dungeons and Dragons and Dinner. And it's a really good podcast. They're only on episode like 13. Really funny. What question?
Quick question. I've heard you talk about this before, and I had some concerns, because are they in fact playing D&D while they're having dinner?
So the theme of this podcast is that each session, which like they can have a session that lasts multiple episodes or just one episode. Each session, the host, James Gressel, cooks a dinner for all his guests. They eat, and then they play.
Okay, good.
So it's all clean.
I did not want to hear a podcast while people are eating their dinner. I would get very angry. Terrible.
And then the other D&D podcast I've gotten into is Critical Role. So I'm going back and listening to their first campaign that was on podcast. I'm on episode like 27, and there's like 80 episodes. So I'm getting there. And then I get to start campaign 2, which is already on episode 25. So.
Nice. Well, it's nice to have a backlog. You don't want to have an episode and then have to wait for the next one.
And they're all 4 hours long.
Good God.
So I can knock out 2 in a workday pretty much, and it's really nice.
That's cool.
But I've been man, I really want to play some D&D. Divinity Original Sin 2 is just around the corner, but I want to play some of it now, and I don't got nobody who wants to play D&D with me. So
I mean, technically I do want to play D&D with you. We just are not good at organizing.
That's true.
Thing, so
it's also probably be really difficult over Discord.
No, it'd be fine. It'd be real fine. It'd be A-okay. People do it all the time.
Do they? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get something together.
Yeah.
But second best thing was to play Neverwinter. So I made a Tiefling Scourge Warlock named Ankus Saladin. And I got my little I can do a move. If I kill something, I get to summon the spirit of that thing to fight for me.
Nice.
And I was like, already this is awesome. So Neverwinter, it's like a basic MMORPG, but like it kind of fits into the realm of D&D where like you pick a race and you pick a class, and then they have like a set story you go and do. We used to play it a lot back in the day. Like I think I had an almost max level cleric before we ended up stop playing. Man, that game's like ridiculously huge and like there's so much to do. And I'm only level 5 with that character. The issue is like I would go play my cleric, but they reset everything, and I don't remember how I played that character at all. So like I'm level 60 and I don't want to like try to play again and get my butt kicked. So I was like, no, let's just start a new character. And I'm having fun with it. If you are interested in playing that game, I definitely think you should give it a shot. It's free, so there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I always had a lot of fun with that game too. Like, there are a lot of games that are in that same vein, and it always seemed like Neverwinter was the most fun, like, of it. Like, I recently tried Elder Scrolls Online, and it was like, and I'm like, why don't I just play Neverwinter? I mean, that's the one where I've still got my guard drake that I can ride on, that I paid 35 real world dollars for, and I still do not regret that purchase because I love that guard drake. So I should come join you and play some more.
The only issue is that I should not be investing myself in an MMORPG right now, because we have Destiny 2 Forsaken around the corner. We have Assassin's Creed, Spider-Man, all these huge long games.
But they're not here yet, so I mean, what are you going to do until they get out? I think this is the perfect time to play it.
I guess so. But then I also have the game I'll talk about next. But first, Sam, I want to hear about Warhammer.
Oh, do you now? Okay.
Yes.
So, Warhammer Vermintide 2. As you guys know, I was pretty excited, about this game. And at E3, I got even more excited when it was announced that it was coming to Game Pass day one for free. I was like, fuck yeah, man, this is going to be great. So I was really excited to play it, and then, like, we just never hooked up to play it. Like, I was like, I wanted us to have buddies to play it with. So finally I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and play it and see what's going on here. So I played some of the first Vermintide game, and not very much. But the recap of what happened at the end of the first one is basically there were 5 heroes that you could play with in the first game. They have gotten captured by the vermin, which are like rat people that have infested, the world. That's who you're fighting. So they've captured these 5 heroes, and so you start out as one of them, and you're all like in this prison, and you've got to help your buddies break out, and you regroup, and then you like go back out into the world. And the way both the first and the second game works is like there's kind of like this little hub area where you can go and like select your character and pick which mission you want to go on and like get hooked up with people to play with. So like when you first spawn, you're just like kind of this basic knight guy. He's got an axe, and then he had a bow and arrow. So every character has a ranged attack and a melee attack, and it's real easy to just switch back and forth between them. But these are the same characters from the first one, so I was kind of familiar with them. And I wanted to play as this kind of, I guess she's kind of like a sorcerer. Her name was Sienna, and I kept thinking it was like Ferguson, but it was not. It was a word that was like much longer than that, but I was so far away from the TV, so I had trouble reading it. So she's like got a long last name that starts with an F, but we'll just call her Sienna Ferguson. And she has this like staff of fire that is her, like she can shoot fireballs out, is her ranged attack. And then she just has like a regular sword for her melee attack. And I remembered playing her in the first one, and I thought I had a lot of fun with her, so I was like, I want to play as her on this mission. So I picked the first mission because it's got a story you can go through. and I set it on the amateur difficulty, which was the easiest difficulty, because you know me, I like easy. And then I got matchmaking with other people, and we got a full party. No, I think there were just 4 of us. But so we went in and we started adventuring, and it was pretty fun. It seems very similar to the first game. You're just, you've got a checkpoint or whatever that you've got to get to, and you're just fighting enemies along the way. You can pick up health potions, you can pick up bombs. In the first game, I had a lot of trouble finding my way around, because it would just be like, go find this thing, but there wasn't a map, there wasn't waypoint markers or anything, and so you just had to explore until you found it, and that's not my favorite. So in this game, at least some of the objectives, they would pop up like a little icon, a shield icon on the screen to show you like which direction your objective was. And so I thought that was really cool. But so I started playing as Sienna Ferguson, and I'm throwing my fireballs, having a good old time. And what happens is like there's this like overheat meter on her fireball staff, and like I think once it gets all the way full, you kind of catch on fire a little bit, and there's supposed to be something that you can do to discharge it safely, I think. But because I didn't play the first thing as her, like there wasn't a tutorial. What are you laughing about?
Maybe stop, drop, and roll is how you like.
Well, she's not on fire yet. Like it's just like you can see it building. Okay. And so then I found like if you pushed square, it would discharge it, but then also you would take some damage. And so I was like, what's happening? So I kept like, no, I was really screwing myself there, because it took me quite a while to even catch on that was what was happening, because I thought I was just like getting wounded in battle. So I was getting wounded like that, and then her character design is really cool, because on her shoulders, instead of like shoulder pads, she has these 2 like torches that are lit with fire. So she just got fire on her shoulders, But this is a first-person game, and so as you're going along doing stuff, yes.
Can you cook s'mores on the torches?
I mean, I would say no, because that sounds like it'd be a really fun thing to do, and this game probably wouldn't let you do that, because they like to spit on you. But yes, I'm getting to that. No. not in the good way. So
oh god, no.
Okay, but anyway, so as you're like running and fighting things, you just have these 2 orbs of fire like in your view that aren't attached to anything, but they're just like flopping around in front of you, and it makes it very difficult. Yeah, they are. It makes it very difficult to see what's going on. So I was really not enjoying playing as this character. But once you select your character, like you have to play the mission as them. You can't change midway through. So I wasn't having the best time. And also, it seemed like the easy level was not super easy. We got to the boss, and it was like this big, hulking whatever. And like it knocked me out straight away. And like you're down, and you have to wait for a teammate to revive you. So that happened a few times. And then like when you're down waiting to be revived, it seems like you've got another meter that is like your revive meter. And like if they don't get you in time, then like you can't be revived. And this freaking boss liked to come like knock me down and then like stomp around on me and like not leave. And so he would just like keep decreasing my revive meter. And like I would have to rely on my other heroes to come like smack at him and get him to like get off of me before they could revive me. But yeah, they just stopped reviving me after a while, and then I just like died, and like I couldn't come back. And then eventually we all died, and I was just like, good God, this is not fun. I was like, that was a super hard battle for an easy mode. So like I'm saying it much more calmly than I was feeling at the time. I was very angry, and I almost deleted the game off of my Xbox. But then like last night I was talking with Alejandro, and I was like, he talked about it, and I was like, well, I'd give it a go. Like, if you want to go play it together, we can go try it. And we were going to, but he didn't actually have it downloaded all the way. His power had gone out the other day in the middle of the download, and then it never continued. So I feel like I'll still give it a chance again at some point with a friend. But I don't think I'll ever play it again by myself. And if I don't have a good time playing it with a friend, I'm probably just gonna delete it off the Xbox, because like I was not happy about it. So
that sucks. I'm sorry you had a bad time with it. Currently I don't have Xbox Live or Games Pass, so I need to eventually get those again. And we can probably play together.
Let me tell you something, Cody. We'll get to this later, but let me just throw it out here this time as well. Right now, I don't know how long it lasts, but you can get a year of Xbox Gold for $40 instead of the normal $60.
Oh,
if you have an interest.
I should look into that.
Yeah, and I think there was also a sale on. I read there was a sale on Game Pass, but then I don't think I could find the thing for it. But I don't know. And also, by the time this podcast comes out, it might be over. But
probably.
If not, you should check it.
Knowing our luck.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry you had a very bad time with that game.
Mm.
But let me tell you about a game I had a great time with.
Okay.
Hopefully my joy will pass on to you. We'll see.
We'll see.
So, if you had came to Cody and been like, hey man, a couple years, that game you had no interest in and you heard terrible, terrible things about, you'd be having a blast with. I'd be like, first off, what are you doing in my room? Secondly, that's a really old joke. I'm really sorry. I couldn't resist it.
Stupid joke.
I would not believe that I would be enjoying No Man's Sky as much as I am. So No Man's Sky came out 2 years ago, and to some not good reviews, both critically and fan side, they talked a big game and could not deliver. I remember like hearing things about this game, and like it sounded amazing. Like, oh, it would take thousands of hours for you to run into another player. It would take you 1,000 hours to get to the center of the world or the galaxy. I mean, and then within like an hour, someone's like, "Hey, I got to the center of the galaxy." Oh, hey, the reason it takes you 1,000 hours to run into anybody is because you can never run into anybody. It's a single player game. So they really like hyped this game up, and I think all the blame should not be put on Hello Games. They were a small company making this game, and like on paper, the concept sounds amazing. You're going around exploring planets, just exploring this huge galaxy, and that sounds great. And I think Sony came in and was like, "Hey, we're gonna fund you guys. Get this game out soon. Like, we want this game out like." Almost as if it's another one of their AAA titles. And I think they bit off more than they can chew, because as I found out, with all the updates they've done over the past 2 years, and the new update that came out last week, when you're hearing this, No Man's Sky Next, this game is breathtaking. Like, I have very high standards for visuals in video games. Like Horizon Zero Dawn, there's a point where you're like on top of a mountain and you look out, and like top 10, one of the best things I've ever seen. God of War, there are multiple times where you look out and you're just like, this is incredible. This game, like within the first 5 minutes, had me being like, oh wow, this is pretty. So like what they've added to the game is now you can be in third person, which I think helps a lot, because being in first person, like your field of view is just not what it really should be in a game like this. Like, so you can see around you and like see if something's sneaking up on you and stuff like that. There's now like a 30-hour story mission kind of thing. There's multiplayer where you can join up with up to 3 other friends. You guys can build bases together, explore the galaxy together. You can do the entire story with a group of friends if you choose to. I'm trying to think of what other big things they've added to the game. There's space combat. There's like, I think there's a horde mode, but I haven't found it yet. But yeah, so I got it for really cheap. So It's $15.99 if you're a GameStop Power Up Elite member. So and then through that I also had a coupon for $15 off. So I got it for like $4 because tax. Because tax is annoying. Good lord. So I got home, I downloaded it, hopped in for like 10 minutes before we had to record for Resident Evil 5. I was like, this is pretty cool. Like, this is gorgeous. Like, wow. And like, I'm fixing my ship up. I got my ship running. And I'm like, this is pretty cool. So after we record Resident Evil 5, I hopped back on, and I joined up with my brother-in-law, a couple of his friends, people who've been playing the game for a long time. Like, they just stuck with the game. They were like, I'm having fun with it. I don't care what people say. And so I was like talking to them about the game. I was like, oh, like, what does this do and stuff. One of the big things they added was procedurally generated worlds. But any world you go to will be different. Like, there'll be different effects on it and stuff. And so in No Man's Sky, like, one of the big things is every planet has a different atmosphere, obviously. Like, there's a snow planet, there's a sand planet, there's a desert planet, there's a tropical planet. There's planets that are just pure gas, and so the toxicity and the radiation is really high. So when I was playing by myself, the first planet they spawned me on, because you spawn on a random planet, and from there you go planet to planet, and it's all random until you land. I was on a sand planet, and in the first 5 minutes, there was a dust storm, and I'm like, no idea what I'm doing. I'm like, man, like, that gauge over there in the corner is like dropping like crazy. Like, what do I do? And eventually, like, a little alert comes up and it's like, you should probably find shelter, like, fast. So, and at first I'm like, well, this is annoying. But then I'm like, actually, this is kind of cool, because it's like, I wonder what other planets are like. So, like, on the snow planet I went to, like, there's a heavy snowstorm. So I should probably get into a cave or something, or build a base. And so, like, the story starts, and this is like very minuscule stuff, nothing spoilery. Like, they have you fix the ship, and they kind of like start teaching you like what you can do in the game as far as crafting goes. So they're like, hey, craft like a little basic base, and like, crafting in this game is pretty good. Like, I played a couple of different crafting games like Ark, and I played Minecraft and other things, and I like the way this handles. Like, it's all done like, you just kind of, there's no like, you don't have to build something to make a wooden wall. Like, you just have to have the stuff on you to make the wooden wall or the wooden floor, which is very useful, because there are games where like it's like, hey, go craft that thing so then you can do it. And there is an element of that in No Man's Sky, but it's only because like you as a human being, or alien, as you can eventually become apparently, you can't refine a mineral called ferrite into pure ferrite, because you're just a human, but a portable refiner could refine it. So you obviously have to make one of those.
Obviously.
Yeah. So I joined them, and I made a little base, and then like, I was like, okay, like, whatever, they just want to teach me how to make a base. And then an acid rainstorm starts. And 2 of them die from the acid rainstorm. But guess who didn't? Joe Blow over here, who made a fucking house 3 seconds before the acid rainstorm hit. So I felt great about myself. I was like, this is good.
Your house was safe in the acid rain? It didn't disintegrate?
Yeah, I guess no. Like, I guess there's nothing about that. Like, I guess maybe if like, I haven't ran into any. So there's different aliens. So in the game, you can like, there is I think it's called a analytical advisor or something. Analyzing advisor, not analytical. Yeah. And you can like look through it and scan plant life, animal life, and you get credits for it because you are discovering these. And like, when you go to a planet for the first time, you're discovering the planet. You can name it. You can name the animals. And so like, I've been scanning animals to get credits and stuff, and like, so far I haven't seen anything hostile until one thing happened. I'll get to that in a second. So I wonder if like maybe the alien life forms can attack your base, maybe. But so far I have not seen anything about your house being destroyed by like the weather or anything.
Okay,
that's cool. Pretty good. And you can like easily bounce back and forth between multiplayer and single player.
Okay.
So like, there's multiple different save points, and so if you like want to start fresh with it, like say me and you want to play together, I can make a fresh character and we'll both be at square one and we do stuff together. but then I still get to keep my main character, the original one I made, and like there's like I think 8 slots for that. So like
That's cool.
you can have different groups of people that you play with different stuff. That's really cool. I'm really enjoying this game. Like the first time you get into your spaceship and fly out into space, it is breathtaking because you are like you're an astronaut for the first time in your life because it's amazing. The first time you do hyperdrive, the first time you do pulse drive, like it's just breathtaking because of how beautiful this game is. I was reading a tweet the other day, and someone was like, "I can't think of another time a video game went from being one of the most hated and like disregarded video game to people are actually excited for it. Like people are streaming this game and loving it. Like it's crazy." So my biggest complaint is sometimes the game doesn't tell you what like certain things do. So I decided I wanted to kind of get like the basic tutorial stuff done before I started playing with friends because I felt like they were doing stuff. And I didn't want a repeat of my ARC situation where I just kind of was like standing around like, what do I do? I wanted to learn how to play the game before I go play with others, and I don't want to be a burden. So I'm playing the story by myself, and I'm like running through this planet looking for materials, and I see a whispering egg, and I'm like, oh, maybe this is like a rare item and I can collect it. So I start to shoot it, and it explodes on me, and I'm like, okay, normal, right? And then I turn to my left because I heard a noise, and 6 worm-like creatures sprout out from the ground and start spitting acid at me. And I'm a good like 30 feet from my spaceship, and like I'm on comms with the people I was playing with earlier, and they're like, "Just run!" And I'm like, "I don't got enough stamina for that. Like I'm like so dead." So I'm like running, but like you have a jetpack, so I'm like kind of jetpacking a little bit to give myself a speed boost. Health bar got to like nothing. Like I was like, I'm dead. And then luckily I get into my ship, and so you have to craft like fuel for your ship, and so like there's fuel for like launching the thrusters to like launch. And I'm like, oh no, I don't know if last time I filled up my launch thrusters. Luckily I was at 25%, went down to 0, but I got out of there.
No.
And that was how I learned never shoot eggs unless you were like have a gun, and I didn't have a gun yet, so I'm really having fun with the game. I'm excited for you to get it. You're getting it next week, you said?
Yeah, well, so funny story. Just on Tuesday, when the next update came out, just randomly, we hadn't talked about it beforehand, but Cody and I both bought this game. So he bought it at GameStop where he could pick it up that day. I bought it on eBay, and I had to wait for shipping. But yeah, so now that you've had some time to play it, because like I told you, I'm excited to try it, but I still feel like there's like a 75% chance that I'm not going to like this game. So how do you think I'm going to feel about this game?
Through our friendship, I've come to know you pretty well, and you told me you were watching a stream of one of your friends play it, and you're like, it looks kind of boring. And I was like, yeah, like it's a little tedious at times. Like you know, you gotta go get stuff. And you're like, I don't know, I'm afraid I'm not gonna like it. And I was going to text you, knowing who you are, you're not going to like it because you did not like Codename Exiles, or I don't think you thought Arc sounded interesting. So I'm kind of, I think maybe because me and you will play this game together, you may like it, but I definitely am going into it expecting you to not like it.
Let me tell you something, Cody. So you know how you gave me so much shit because I ordered it on eBay and it was going to take so long to get here, right?
Yeah.
Guess what? It got here today, and I wasn't feeling well, so I took the afternoon off, and I played No Man's Sky.
Holy shit, let's go. Tell me how you feel about this game.
Oh, well, let me tell you. So you said, like, you know, it doesn't do a great job explaining stuff to you. It does not do a great job explaining stuff to you.
And so it's like dire circumstances. Then you're like, oh shit.
You pop out on this planet. It's like, hey, repair your scanner. but also, like, your radiation suit is failing. Oh, and also, like, your life support is failing, so you should get on that. And I'm like, well, okay, what the hell am I supposed to be doing? So I just go and start, like, using my mining laser on random things until I get some stuff. I fixed the scanner first. By the time I got that scanner fixed, like, all my stuff was real low. Like, you said you were, like, that far from dying. I was like, there was no slivers left on my health bar. I don't know how I didn't die by the time I finally found the sodium, I think, which I needed to fix my radiation suit. So then once I got that back up, like, I was kind of shielded, and then eventually your health will regenerate. So then my health started regenerating. I was like, okay. But because I was, like, mining everything in sight, one of those sentinel things came at me, and I, like, okay, I'm gonna shoot it, I guess, because that's what you do when you're under attack. So I'm doing battle with this sentinel, and it's horrible. And I'm, like, doing, like, ring around the rosy with this plant, trying to, like, hide from it to keep it from shooting so I could get my health to regenerate so then I could go shoot it some more. And then I find out that your mining laser starts losing functionality as well, and then you have to, like, recharge that with resources that you've gathered, hopefully. So eventually I kill the sentinel, and I'm feeling pretty good about myself. I'm like, all right, got that out of the way. And it's like, oh, stage 2 security is activated, and then, like, 2 more sentinels come at me. And I was just like, how are you supposed to get out of this? And, like, I tried running, but it chased me. Apparently,
you don't shoot the sentinels, first of all.
Well, if it's shooting at you to begin with.
Was it shooting at you?
Well, yes, because, like, apparently I found out the hard way what you're supposed to do when a sentinel comes at you. Stop mining. Like, apparently I just mined
that seemed
everything.
Kind of obvious to me.
It was too late by the time it found me. It was already shooting at me because I didn't realize what it was until it was too late. So I got myself in this situation. You kill 2 sentinels, you get 2 more, and then you get a bigger thing that was like a dog robot. So then I eventually died. And I was like, okay. But then it put me back at my ship, so I was like, well, I guess that's okay. Because then the sentinels weren't after me after I respawned. But then, like, it was a tough learning curve there at the beginning. But then I was like, okay, I figured it out. I can try it again. I can avoid these sentinels. If they see me, I'll just stop mining. If they do kind of attack me, if you run away really fast, you can get away from them and they'll, like, deactivate, and then you'll be safe again. Because I was running towards my ship, because when you die, there's, like, a place marker on the land where you can go pick up your supplies when you respawn. And so I was like, well, I want to die close to the ship so that I can just grab my stuff real quick. But I found out that if you run fast enough, you can just get away. So I was like, okay. I was trying to repair my ship. I made the metal plate that I needed. I needed to find a hermetic seal. Didn't know how to do that. I had to repair this other thing, which needed, like, the pure ferrite or something, which you can't get unless you have the advanced laser, which I didn't have. So I was just, like, wandering around looking for stuff because I didn't know what to do. And I didn't. And I wandered for too far, and I went down in these caves, and then I came back out from a hole on the other side of the cave, and then I was a little bit lost, and I was like, I don't remember where my ship is, but I feel like I should go back to my ship, because I'd been Googling, and it was like, oh, you need to build a portable refinery, which you would think a little tutorial pop-up would just say, hey, build your portable refinery, but it doesn't tell you that. And when you just go and you look at the things, no, it didn't. It didn't for me.
Yeah, I don't know. Which one did you pick? Did you pick survival, or did you pick, like,
I picked
when you were picking
the easy one that's not the, like, super just creative and explore one. The one that was, like, at the top.
Okay, there should have been a tutorial thing, because that's what's been coming up for me, so that's very weird. I'm sorry you had that experience.
No, because I looked at all the stuff I could craft, and a portable refinery was not one of the things. Like, there was... So you're supposed to somehow know that you're supposed to make a metal plate, put it down on the ground, and then push something on the D-pad to get a new crafting menu to make your portable refinery there, which I had absolutely no way to know that except for Google. And that made me very angry, okay? So I am lost from my ship, and I'm like, how do I get back to my ship? I would love for there to be a map that I could pull up and just see where it is, but there was no way for me to find a map. And so I looked at the compass, and there were these markings on the compass, and I was like, okay, now just don't say anything because I know it's stupid, okay? I looked at the things, and I was like, oh, S, that must be for my ship. So I started heading towards the S on the compass. And so I'm walking for a real long time. I'm walking. I'm like, I think I've gone the wrong way. I think I'm going to have to walk like all the way across this planet before I get back to my ship. And I'm looking somewhere and I'm like, oh my God, the S stands for south. It does not stand for my ship. So then I was like, I don't know where I am. I'm like halfway across this planet. There's like no way for me to get back to my ship. I got really frustrated. I was like, how do I save? You have to be by your ship to save or be by a landmark on the planet, which of course I was not. And like, I'd been scanning stuff. I'd gotten a lot of money from doing stuff, but I was like, you know what? Nope. I just quit out. Like, it's all gone. Don't care. Can't deal with this right now. If I'd been a smart person, what I would have done was mine some stuff a lot to get a sentinel to come attack me, let the sentinel kill me. I would have spawned back at my ship. I could have started over, and then hopefully once I got my ship working, I could have gone back to where all my supplies were and picked them up. But I was so angry that I just stopped, Cody.
I mean, what you also could have done was text your best friend who's been playing the game for the past 2 days and be like, hey, how do I do this?
Yeah, but, I thought about doing that, but I thought it'd be more fun to just surprise you on the podcast with my anger.
I mean, I'm very surprised.
It took a lot to save that, because, yeah, I was, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I think it's safe to assume that I was right and that you were not enjoying this game.
I'm not enjoying this game. I think it definitely would have been better if I'd started with a friend. Someone to show me the ropes, so I wouldn't have gotten just, been directionless. And I'll definitely try it, playing with a friend again. But, man, not a good first impression. If I did not have gaming friends and I was playing by myself, I don't know if I would come back to this. Also glad I only paid $15 for it. So.
Do you have any positives about this game at all?
I mean, it is pretty, but I did get kind of pissed off when I was, I told you I was playing Ring Around the Rosie with this Sentinel, and, like, I would move too close, and, like, I would be partially inside this plant, and, like, the Sentinel would kind of, like, be inside the plant. It's like the graphics were, the overlap thing was, and it was just like, that seems cheap for something that should be so gorgeous. Like, that just seemed like, I do like the little animals that are on the planet. You can feed them, I guess, which is kind of cool, although it didn't seem to work very well. Like, I guess I would feed them and then it would just stick its head in the ground and it was eating with its head in the ground. I don't know. It seemed
as you do.
Like, I didn't know if that was the correct animation or if it was just something weird was going on and its head wasn't actually supposed to be in the ground.
There's definitely some very weird looking aliens in this game. Like, there was what looked to be like a sandworm, but instead of like burrowing underground, the sandworm's like body would just like hop up and down to get places. On this one planet I was on, and I was like, that seems so fucking weird, but whatever.
Yeah.
We should note that they had a update patch that came out after, like, the day after the next patch dropped. And some people were experiencing where if they went on a freighter, they would lose their save. But I was reading today that some of those people, they released another patch today, and some of those people are getting their saves back. So hopefully
that's good.
We're affected by that you can get your save back and you didn't lose too much. I was playing with somebody, and that happened to them where they lost their save, so they just made a whole new character. But they were kind of like, they were a little bit more upbeat about it than I expected. They were just kind of like, I get to experience the game like fresh with everybody else, so that's kind of cool. I was like, that's good. I mean, it's a way to look at it. I'm having fun with the game. I'm sorry you have not yet, Sam, but we should get together. Maybe me, you, Byron, some other people, just go explore the galaxy together. Sure. All right. Well, why don't you tell me about Urban Trials Playground? right after we do a dog check, and I go look for this dog.
Fantastic.
Because I'm pretty sure it's on the door.
Okay, and then you better put this dog on camera. There's Coco. Hi, Coco. Oh, you're such a pretty puppy. Are you having a good time with Uncle Cody? Oh, do you love Uncle Cody?
Alright, so if you video people, you just gotta see a dog. Oh hey. Now she's freaking out, but
I mean, can she sit in your lap? Does she want to sit in your lap?
This chair is not like
not made for that.
Yeah, not made for that. It's like a bar stool, pretty much.
Oh.
So yeah, I'm like barely sitting on it myself. She's going to eat anyways. Alright, okay. So before I left, we were going to talk about Urban Trials Playground. Let me hear about it.
Yeah, so as you know, I've been loving Trials Fusion, which was the free PS Plus game the other month. I don't know. There's something addicting about it. I've been having a great time. I was getting all the gold medals for all the levels up to I hit the hard levels, Cody. And let me tell you, those levels are real hard. And I started not having as much fun. Shocking that hard levels would be so hard. But yeah, so I was kind of like, this isn't as much fun anymore. I can go back to the previous levels and try to do some of the challenges. Also, Trials Fusion has a DLC for $20. And I'm like, well, I wonder how many medium levels they'll have in those, because I don't want to buy a bunch of DLC and have it all be hard that I can't do. So like I was looking at it and like the first one has like 10 levels and 3 are medium. So I was like, yeah, maybe, whatever. You could get a season pass to get a bunch of them so I could get some more. But I was like, well, and about that time, I don't know what I was doing, but I found out there's this Switch game called Urban Trial Playground. I don't know I feel like there's at least one plural word in this name. I don't know what it is. Urban Trial Playgrounds? I think I wrote it down wrong regardless. But anyway, it was also $20 and it had a free demo. You know how I love free demos. So I downloaded it. I'm like, let's check this out. Yeah. So it's an upbeat, colorful. It also has fun sounds. It kind of seems like I don't know if I'm imagining it, but like kind of 80s style to it. You're just like a little biker on like these probably California beaches. So it seems like fun. I was enjoying it. It seems a little easier than Trials Fusion because Trials Fusion, like you really have to work on your balance so you don't tip over one way or the other. This one, you're pretty well balanced. Like you're not really going to tip over. The big thing with this, like you get speed when you pop a wheelie. So like you try to like do drive as much as you can just on your back wheel to get a really big speed boost. And then like when you come to ramps, you can like duck down and then like jump up when you hit the end of the ramp to get like a height boost. And then you can do tricks, you can do flips. If you can like land on just your front tire, which is called a stoppie instead of a wheelie, you get like really good points. You get better points if you do a front flip versus a back flip, but I'm really bad at the front flips because they're harder. So
I guess so.
But there's really 2 types of courses. So some of them you are just trying to get through and beat a certain time. And then others, you're trying to just do your tricks and get a certain high score based on the tricks. And like if you beat the target, you'll get 5 stars, which is kind of like the medal system. But then also there are challenges in these that you can do as well, such as like doing a certain number of flips or completing the track without crashing. So yeah, I was having a lot of fun with it. I was like, it's a Switch game, so I can play it whenever. And it's $20. And I was reading the description. And it's like, yeah, you get 50 levels. And I was like, this seems like a pretty good ideal. So I went ahead and I bought it. And I was playing it, and I was having a real good time with it. It's just a lot of easy fun, like quick maps, nothing to it. I'm having a good time. Then I get to a part, Cody, and I'm like, wait, I feel like I've played this map before. And so, like, if I had played a map and it was for a time trial, then, like, a few maps later, that same map is going to show up, but this time it'll be a tricks map.
Okay.
Or sometimes it'll be like, I don't know, I didn't check these, like, maybe it's like you have to do it, but like a faster time than before or something. But the point is, it's repeating the maps. So I went through and I was looking through it because it lists all the maps even when they're locked and you can see what they are. And I looked and like they have a ton of repetition, Cody. It told me there were going to be 50 levels. And there are, if you count the tutorial, I think there are like 54 levels. However, if you look at the names of the maps, there are only about 30 unique ones. So the rest are all duplicated that you're just doing a different type of run on. And let me just go ahead and say, I've had some issues this week where I've been very cranky. Cody, I think I do still owe you an apology from when I was really cranky on Tuesday and I was super mean to you for no reason. But I found this out in one of the times when I was very cranky, and I got so angry about this because they had lied to me and I thought I was getting 50 unique levels and I was only getting 30. And looking at it now, I'm like, why was I so mad about that? And I don't know, but I was angry. I was so mad. I was like, I am done with this game. But actually, I mean, I still like it. It's a pretty fun game. And if you had gone into it knowing that, you know, there'd be some duplication of the levels, then I think it'd be fine. And whatever that anger was, it's past. It's a really fun game. I'm enjoying it. If you like the Trials Fusion stuff, you should check it out if you want to have it portable on the go on your Switch. I did have some trouble with the, like, where you duck down and then jump up to do, like, your big jumps. Like, it feels like the controls just aren't super responsive for that. And, like, I had more trouble with the Pro Controller, and I ended up going back to the Joy-Con grip with it because I felt like it handled it better, which is really weird.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah, but other than that, everything works fine, and it's a fun, simple game, so I recommend it. Just know that, you know, it's those 30 levels, 30. And then you're going to repeat them some. It's going to be fine, though. You're going to have a good time. So, there you go.
All right. And then last but not least, I have one more game to talk about. Schmokemon Shmy. Real fun game I found. It's Schmokemon Shmy. It's
Cody, do you remember how I talked about how I was getting angry?
Yeah, what's up?
Just reminding you about that. I mean, it's not completely gone. It could come back at any time. Just FYI, it's fine. Continue.
I'm just talking about Schmokemon Shmy.
Okay.
Why would you get mad?
Yeah, go ahead.
So in Schmokemon Shmy, you're a Schmokemon master, and you go out into the world and catch Schmokemon.
Okay.
You may have heard of them. Famous one is Shmikachu.
Okay.
Just wanted to say I've been playing Schmokemon Shmy. Pacing in that game, really weird.
I thought you had beat Schmokemon. Were you not? Are you right on the verge of beating Schmokemon?
I'm like right on the verge of beating Schmokemon.
Oh, okay. See, I thought you were only going to talk about it if you beat it, but you did not beat Schmokemon. So you're just talking about Schmokemon just to talk about Schmokemon.
Oh, no. See, I was... that was Pokemon that I was close to beating. You said I couldn't talk about Pokemon. This is Schmokemon. Very clear. There's a P in Pokemon and an SCH in Schmokemon.
You just said the word you were not supposed to say. So let's move on.
I'm so sorry.
Move on.
I failed you.
Move on.
Okay. So, we have a new segment this week. This is Overwatch League Trivia!
Woo!
So Sam's come to me and said, Cody, I've got some trivia for you leading up to the Overwatch League Finals. This will be airing after that, but I think Sam will have a little bonus thing for you guys. So yeah, we'll find out who wins between Philadelphia Fusion and London Spitfire. Congrats to both those teams. No matter what, they're making history. So
yeah.
So Sam, you have some trivia for me. Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. So you guys can play along at home, obviously, just for bragging rights, because like there's no prize. But we just want to have some fun. We love Overwatch, and I love trivia. So, and I think Cody does too, because you play a lot of Jeopardy. So,
that's true.
If you don't like it, you get suckered into playing it a lot.
The intro bit, this is Overwatch League Trivia, that was based on Jeopardy. So
yeah. Okay.
So let's hit it. Let's do this.
All right. So I've got 10 questions here, and we'll just see what you know. And, if you don't know, make your best guess. Don't answer right away, Cody. Take a second to think about it so that people at home who are listening can think about it and have their answer. Okay? All right. Are you ready, sir?
I believe so.
Okay. Question number 1. What character silhouette is used in the Overwatch League logo? And there's no Googling. You can, at home, I guess you could pause it and Google it if you want to cheat.
I feel like you should, because we don't want dead air. It's bad for podcasts. You should do the Jeopardy. Do, 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 do.
Okay.
Or should I just do it as I think?
Can you do it while you think, or is that going to be confusing?
No, I think I should good. So I have the answer, I believe.
Oh. Okay.
Who is Tracer?
Good job. Correct answer. Yeah. All right. Way to go. You are off to a hot start, Cody. Let's see if you can keep the streak alive.
You and your puns.
How was that a pun? It's like,
because in Overwatch
you get streaks. You get like
streak.
Streak.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm so punny I don't even know it. It just comes out. All right, this one's a little tricky. If you haven't been following the news lately, you might not know. Okay. Question number 2. 2 Overwatch League players recently traveled to Switzerland to attend a forum on esports with the International Olympic Committee. Name one of them.
Oh, okay. Just name one? All right.
Yeah, so 2 of them went. You only have to name one. They went to talk to... Okay, I was explaining the question some more. I'll do it in just a minute. I'll do it, okay? Do, 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 do.
I believe I have an answer.
Okay, all right. What is your answer?
Who is Jake from the Houston Outlaws?
Good job! That is one of the correct answers. I'm so impressed that you knew that. Do you want to just go for bonus points and try to guess who the second person was?
Was the other one Raucus?
No, they wouldn't send 2 from the same team, probably, would be my guess. Because they're, they want to show some diversity, not everyone all the same.
Was it Custa from the LA Valiant?
No, think a little bit more diverse. Just a little bit more diverse.
You mean, okay, No idea.
Okay.
No idea.
It was Gagry from the Shanghai Dragons. So a man and a woman. That's where I was going with the diversity. So
nice. Okay. Good hint.
Yeah. So good job. You are still on you've got a streak. You got a 2-kill streak because you're just killing these questions. You're so good at it. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
I'm just going to adjust the camera real fast. Okay, there we go.
All right.
Better.
It's getting this intense look on. All right, question number 3. So we're in season 1 of the Overwatch League, and it had 4 stages. Name who won each stage of the season 1 Overwatch League. Which teams? In order. Probably in order.
All right. You gonna do the music, or am I doing the music? All right.
Okay. All right, you ready?
So for stage 1.
Yes.
It was the London Spitfire.
Correct.
For stage 2, it was the NYXL.
Correct.
For stage 3, it was the NYXL.
Correct.
And for stage 4, my boys, the LA Valiant.
Correct! Oh my god.
There's someone who hates esports. I know so much about it.
When did you ever say that you hated esports?
You always tell me I hate esports because I poo-pooed on NYXL one time.
I don't think I've ever said that.
I think you have.
I
quoted multiple
I just
times.
Said you're not as into it as you used to be. But that's
you lost that deal with Overwatch League because you said I hated esports.
What eel?
Deal. We had a marketing deal.
We had a marketing broadcast deal, something? Okay.
Yeah.
It was a good joke. I missed it. I'm sorry. My enunciation, whatever. Okay. All right. Question 4. This one is a toughie. I would not have known this. I had to look it up. Okay. Question number 4. Which teams played in the first ever Overwatch League match? Do 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 do. Oh, he just made a face. Oh my god. It's
Who is
okay.
the Seoul Dynasty and the Dallas Fuel?
Oh, that's the miss noise. You just like totally missed that one. But like I said, that's a hard one. Who would know? Who would know? Turns out it was the LA Valiant and the San Francisco Shock played the first match in the Overwatch League. LA Valiant won 4-0. So hey.
Yeah, they did.
They were on to a good streak, and then they ended stage 4 with a win too. So, they just bookended it right there. So,
nice.
All right, it's okay. That's right. It's one miss. You're still doing great, Cody. So you've got 3 right, 1 miss. Let's keep going. Right, number 5. What is the name of the Overwatch Development League? Quick question. Are you familiar with the Overwatch Development League?
Yes.
Okay, so just for people who might not be, that's like it's kind of like the minor leagues where people train and practice to hopefully work their way into the Overwatch League. So, and some of the Overwatch League teams also have teams in the development league that they work with. So,
what is the Overwatch Contenders League?
Yay! You got it. It's the Contenders. Good job. Good job. He's turning it around. He's getting the streak alive again. Here we go. Good job, Cody.
Thank you.
All right. Question 6. What do you receive for watching Overwatch League matches on Twitch? Do 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 do.
What is drops?
That is correct. You receive drops if you watch Overwatch League on Twitch. All you gotta do is watch it. You get these drops. Cody, for a bonus point, do you know what you can do with those drops?
You can go into Overwatch and they give you coins to buy Overwatch League skins for your characters.
Correct! Good job, sir. Have you bought any Overwatch team skins?
Yes. I have LA Valiant's Roadhog skin and I have Houston Outlaws Reinhardt skin.
Okay. I have Houston Outlaws Junkrat skin for Jake, and I have a Shanghai Dragons Diva skin for Giguri. So,
nice. Just
coincidentally, the 2 people I have skins for are the ones who went to talk to the Olympics committee. What? That's crazy. Nice. All right, so you're doing good. You're doing real good. Got 5 questions right. Let's keep going. Question 7. Which sponsor for the Overwatch League features commercials with the Overwatch League casters? Do 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 do.
What is this car company?
Mm-hmm. They have real cute commercials. They get the casters in there doing fun stuff. I really enjoy them.
What is Mazda?
Oh, swing and a miss. I'm sorry. Boom. That is an incorrect answer, sir. It is Toyota. So.
Is Toyota?
Yeah.
See,
I believe the slogan is like "Go Places, Toyota." So.
Okay.
There's some fun commercials. You don't see many commercials during the Overwatch League, so I never thought I'd miss commercials because sometimes they just have that countdown where they 3 minutes till we're back. So I enjoy when they have a nice, fun commercial with the casters. All right. Oh, you've missed 2, so I think you're down to that's a B now. So let's try to keep it up. All right, we don't want to go lower than that.
I'll try.
Okay.
I'll try.
All right. Question number 8. Which player for the Dallas Fuel had a fan show up at a match wearing a mask representing the player and proceeded to stand creepily behind the caster desk during the broadcast? Do 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 do.
Who is the player? Name Seagull.
Correct. Good job, Cody. Did you see this when the guy in the seagull mask was there?
I think we were watching together when it happened.
Were we? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get creeped out by people in masks just standing there not saying anything. So this guy was real creepy, just like hanging out there in the background. So, all right, you're turning it around again. You're ready to keep going. Keep the positive momentum. You can do this. I feel good about this one. Okay. Question number 9. When this player for the LA Valiant is introduced, it sounds like the crowd is booing him, but really they're just saying his gamer tag. Who is it? Do 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 do. Oh, he just mouthed an F-bomb. So I think he's having a problem with this, and I feel real bad because he loves the LA Valiant. So I feel like this would have been an easier one for him. But I don't know. I hope
Who is Soon?
Correct, sir. Because they say soon, but it sounds like boo, and so
okay,
like,
I can see that. All right.
Yeah, it weirded me out at first. I was like, why are they booing him? But no. So, all right. You're doing good. You're doing real good, Cody. We're down to the last question. All right. This is gonna be a tough one too. All right. 2 players are tied for the most time played in the Overwatch League regular season with 41 hours and 58 minutes. Name one of them. So basically you're looking for which player spent the most time playing in matches in the Overwatch League. There's 2 that are tied. You just have to name one of them. Okay. Do 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 do.
Who is?
Okay.
Jonak.
Oh my god, you've got it, Cody. You are correct, sir. Oh my god.
Such a Sam, hand me a broom, because I just reverse sweeped after that last one I got wrong.
Yeah, you got 3 in a row, so I'd count that as a reverse sweep. I mean, you'd win a match with that, so yeah. So Jonak, our Season 1 MVP, has the most time tied with, do you want to take a stab? You want me to just tell you who the other person is? Do you want a hint?
What team do they play on?
New York Excel.
Really? So both players?
Yeah, both on the same team. So.
Arc?
No.
No?
No. Do you want me to tell you? You want to guess?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, Meko. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like they swap him and one of the other tanks a lot, so that's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean...
And see, the reason I knew it was Jonak was because I feel like they've never swapped out Jonak. They'll swap out the other Arc. They'll swap out Arc every now and then, but Jonak usually always plays.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever been swapped. So.
If it wasn't NYXL, I would go Jake from Houston Outlaws because he always plays DPS, I feel.
Well, and you know what the interesting thing about this question is, or about this statistic in general, is in order to be the person who has played the most time, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're like the best team, because like a team who wins quickly will have less playtime, you know?
Yeah,
so that means New York Excel, they were having some long matches there, having to draw it out and spend time.
They usually do go to Game 5, I've noticed. So.
Yeah. So,
right.
so yeah. So that was did you have a good time?
Yeah, around question 5, I was like, are we still doing this? I'm just kidding. It was fun. I had fun.
Well, I hope you guys at home enjoyed it.
Test in a long time, you know what I'm saying?
All right. It's just like a fun thing to do. So.
Yeah, it was fun.
Okay, Cody, do you know what I'd like to do now?
Okay. This is where you're going to splice in.
Well, so we're recording this on Thursday, but I'm going to go ahead and use my time fart ability, which you didn't know. You thought that was only for going back in time. I can use it to go forward in time. So we're going to use it right now, go forward to Saturday night after the finals are over, and we're going to go ahead and talk about those games and who won the championships. So, do you want to do the time fart, or do you want me to do it?
You can do it.
Okay, I'll do my best, okay?
Hey, thanks, past us. So here we are in the future, talking about the Overwatch League Grand Finals.
Yeah, it just happened.
Yeah, it just happened. Sam, what were your overall thoughts on the Grand Finals themselves?
Well, I mean, I was super excited for it. I couldn't wait. We had such fantastic play in the quarterfinals and the semifinals, so I was like really pumped up, and I thought I was going to be super excited, and that's kind of the reason why we decided to do this little extra section. But turns out I'm not that excited. It was not as edge of your seat gameplay as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
So congratulations to the London Spitfire. They took the win with 2 matches. But yeah, they just pretty much dominated the whole thing. Like the first match, the first map, there was some really good fights going on, and I was like, yes, this is what I want to see. And I was hoping that that would be what the whole series was like. But then after that map, it just seemed like Philly wasn't playing as well as they had been. And I was like, man, just...
Yeah, it definitely seemed like Philadelphia just ran out of like fuel at some point. Like they were just like all everyone would talk about is like how Carpe is just gonna pop off and like go crazy. But like he was getting shut down every fight, it seems. Like he won a couple like gun battles with Birdering, but like for the most part, yeah, Philly did not. I don't know. I don't know if they were just tired, maybe like jet lag from New York, maybe.
Well, and London made their priority taking out Carpe, so it worked well for them. Cody, you've frozen on my screen.
So, the power fucking went out, and my phone's plugged in, so it instantly died. Apparently, that was fucking scary. I was like, oh, okay. Where were we talking about?
London, I was saying London made it their game plan to, hold on, let's just wait till you get settled there.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, that's okay. All right, so I was just saying London made it their mission to shut down Carpe, and it was working really well for them because they kept doing it. Okay. You okay?
Sorry. Yeah, it started freaking out. Like it put yours in the middle. I don't know. Okay.
Cody's in the middle of a storm right now, so the weather is interfering with power and such.
I have a dog who's very afraid.
Why don't you get her and snuggle her while we're recording?
Because she'll nip and bark when she sees you, because she's afraid of people.
Like, she'll really see me on the phone?
She'll look. She freaked out, like, yesterday when there was someone outside, just, like, it's in proximity to the house, so...
Poor Coco.
Yeah. Alright, so...
Okay. Yeah,
it just seemed like Spitfire knew, like, hey, shut down Carpe, and, like, that's all they really need to do. Yeah, you kind of hope that, like, when it comes out of these big, like, grand final matches, that they'll go on for at least all 3 games. That's possible. Yeah. Instead of just, like, almost clean sweep that London did. I have some complaints, like... So each, like, stage, and then this, even the grand finals, was played on, like, a different patch, and, like, I don't think that's a great way to tell who overall is the best team. Because, like, obviously, like, New York XL, like, dominated half the series.
Yeah.
Like, half the season. And then, like, they get to a patch, and, like, they're just not adjusting right, and they, like, end up losing. So it's just, like, I would like for Overwatch Season 2 to be, like, they need to either, like, pick a patch and be like, hey, this is the patch we're playing on, and, like, if you're training, this is the patch you play on. Because, like, I don't know, like, this entire, like, grand final stage was just like, hey, who has a better Hanzo? Who's using the best Hanzo ult? Like, and that got, like, a little repetitive and boring for me. Like, trust me, like, when it ended and, like, they were like, London Spitfire won, like, all these people are cheering and stuff, I got a little choked up because, like, I love Overwatch. It's one of my favorite games of all time. It brought me so many friendships, including this one. And I was like, man, it's great to see, like, a game I love on this stage, and, like, knowing that this is on Twitch, this is on ESPN right now, like, all these channels, it's incredible. Like, it's amazing. I just feel like there is some improvements that can get made for the next season.
Yeah, but, like, I feel like Overwatch part of what it is as a game is adaptability. And that's why you can change your hero halfway through. Like, you know, that's like what happens. You get in a tough spot, you try something new. And so I think, you know, the new patches and stuff, it's being the best team at a certain patch is fine, but also being able to be a team that can adapt to whatever is new and whatever the current thing is, you know, that says something about your team quality as well.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, it seems like Overwatch goes through a lot of changes over a year. So like by the end of the season, if it stayed with that the first patch or whatever, like it would be kind of outdated by the time it got to a new one. But I mean, I get what you're saying. It's you know, you could look at
it's just like I don't know, it's just hard. I don't like, because like, granted, Spitfire won stage 1 finals, so technically we started and ended with the same team, so like maybe Spitfire's just, you know, been consistent throughout the entire thing. But like, it was weird to like, Philadelphia Fusion was like this underdog team, and they made it from never being in a stage final to being in the grand finals. Like, and that's something against Fusion. Like, they did great. Like, they were doing amazing. They just kind of like lost steam in this part. But I mean, hey, second place isn't bad. Like,
no, yeah, I mean, they got to make it to the grand finals, and that is something that's pretty exciting. None of the other teams got to do that. So, I mean, and they earned their place. They were fighting hard. It's just, you know, with games like this, sometimes you have good days and just sometimes you have off days. And, you know, if your off day happens on the day when your opponent is having an extremely good day, then it's just, you know, that sucks. But that's what it is. But there's still, I mean, all 6 teams that made it to the playoffs are really good teams. And like any of them on their day that they hit their really good day, they could have been the champions. So it's just like, you know, we've got a lot of talent in this league, so it's neat to see that.
And it's just gonna keep growing, because I think like it's been rumored that like they're adding 6 more teams to next season.
Yeah, like, that's crazy. That's exciting. Well, and I also heard next season they're going to not all be in LA Arena. Like they'll have different locations
they'll have,
where they
like,
have matches.
Home bases, pretty much.
Which is interesting. So
yeah, it'd be interesting. I want to see, because like the Blizzard Arena is so well done. I wonder if they'll try to replicate that in other places.
Yeah. Well, and just also the fact that teams are going to be having to travel now, and like, are they still living in LA, all of them, but moving to different things? Like, there's going to be jet lag for them. They're not going to have as much training time. And there's also just like the difference of like, right now, everybody is in LA together and they all practice in the same spot and do all this, and everybody knows each other. But like, if people are living in a different town and practicing there and like traveling for matches, it's like, it starts to get more segmented and maybe less friendly or something. I don't know.
And you gotta wonder how like say you get to play London Spitfire, like the time difference and jet lag from that has got to be incredible. Like you probably would have to like be interested to see how they like handle that kind of stuff, because like I know currently like there is a hot debate about like players playing too much, like training too much, and like there's mental health issues. Like Effect from Dallas Fuel like was on suicide watch for a while there, because he like was so hard on himself, and like he was depressed because they weren't winning. So like it'll be interesting to see like how do they like commendate people who are traveling that much, and like what's the game plan. Like, will it be, because we are going to have so many teams, like we already have, it's 18 right now, right?
I thought it was
not 18.
12.
No.
It's only 12.
12.
It's going to be 18.
We would have 18 in season 2 if it's just 6. It could be even more.
Yeah.
Would it be that like you're not playing a game every week, so you have an off week? Like that'd be probably really beneficial to people who are traveling. Like, so if say you have to go to, like, if you're playing the Shanghai Dragons, you got to go to China. Like, say something like that.
Yeah.
And like I'm sure there are more teams going to pop up in the UK, probably some more US teams. So it'll be interesting to see where teams come from. I think the thing that like really got me was they sent it back to the desk, and Chris Puckett worked with MLG for a long time. And I remember watching Halo 3 tournaments, and I remember watching a Halo 3 tournament. It was the biggest one from the Barclays Center. And when he made the comment, he's like, I've been here before, and this is a million times bigger. than what we ever dreamed esports could be. And like I've been back some tears there. I was like, fuck, man. Esports has come so far, and like, it's amazing to see Overwatch on this stage like this. Like, it was really cool. Like, I didn't have a dog in this fight. Like, I didn't care who won really. Like, good for Spitfire. Like, you guys did great, and you deserve it. But I would have been happy with either. But
I'm going to be honest with you. So I was rooting for Philly because I have a history of rooting for them. I've just watched them play more. I'm closer to them. So I wanted them to pull through. I was real sad while this was going on. Cody, I did go get a Mike's Hard Lemonade with strawberry. I'm like, let me drink my sorrows away while this match is playing, because I'm just like, man, I'm so bummed out right now. But even with that, like, I could still really appreciate the way London was playing. Gesture was playing as Orisa, and he was just constantly making plays with that halt where he would pull people in just as somebody else on his team was doing something. So, like, the big play was when Prophet did his Dragon Strike, and the halt came out and pulled them into this hallway, and he got, like, 5 kills from it. And just the amount of teamwork that they have and communication to get their combos set up like that, I think that obviously had a big effect on why they did so well. But I mean, it was a joy to watch. I just wish it had been a little bit closer and lasted longer. That's what she said. But yeah, so okay.
So real quick.
Yeah.
So do you think maybe, because like they started really early today, would it have been better to just play all 3 games today instead of having a game last night and then having technically 2 today? Like, shouldn't it have just been, hey, play 3 today? Or should they refine how that works? Like, I'm not sure playing three different sets is needed, really. Like,
well, I mean, well, why don't you think
instead of maybe doing a best of 5, maybe do a best of 7, like, and that's the grand final?
What do you, like 7 maps for one match?
Like, play 7. Yeah, there's 7 maps, and like,
I don't know.
If you take 4, that's it.
I'm fine with the 3 matches. I'm also okay with the separate days because, like I was saying, sometimes you have your good days, some days you have your off days. So that gives the teams a benefit, a chance to say, like, maybe that first day they were having their off day. They can come back, they can take time to analyze what happened in that first match and change their game plan for the rest of it. Whereas they wouldn't have that amount of time to analyze and make changes if it was all in one day. And also, like, I definitely don't think they should have 3 matches on one day, because that's like 15 maps they could have, and that's probably too much for the players. Like, they should have some downtime and more breaks than just playing that straight through, I think. So I mean, I can see why fans would complain. It would be better for fans, obviously, to have it all on one day. But I mean, I think it's nicer for the players to get to have it split up.
Mm-hmm. I do wonder how long of a break there would have been had we gone to a game set of 3. Mm-hmm. Like, would there have been like a 30-minute, 20-minute like kind of break in between, or would they just dived right in? I imagine they would have gone to a break so teams could sit down.
They would have had at least a 15-minute break. It would have been similar to their halftime, at least, maybe longer, maybe 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But
so overall, I mean, it was good. It could have been better.
Yeah.
But
still, it was good.
I think overall, season 1 of the Overwatch League was something really cool to see. Like,
yeah.
I don't think anybody ever expected it to be like this. Like, they announced the Overwatch League like 2 years ago, and they took their time getting it together.
Was pretty skeptical,
everyone was pretty skeptical. Like, no one's ever done something like this. Like, League of Legends and Dota 2 like have their tournaments, but like never anything like this kind of, like, where there's production to it almost. Like top level production. I mean, overall, I was pretty happy with everything. I think season 1 was pretty cool. I'm excited to see what changes they bring to season 2 as well.
Yeah, I am kind of depressed now because, like, you know, we've got the we've got the All-Star game in August, but then like I don't think season 2 starts until 2019. So, like, there's going to be, like, a huge break where there's no Overwatch League. And, like, I was sad just for, like, the month or so that we had between the regular season and when playoffs started. So I'm kind of bummed out. I don't know if like the Overwatch World Cup thing is going on, if we'll get some of that coverage or what else we might get to like fill the gap, but it just seems like it's going to be a really long break. And I know that happens in sports, but you know, I don't watch sports. So
I imagine they'll do the World Cup stuff.
Yeah.
Because that usually ends at BlizzCon, and that's in the like first weekend of November.
Okay.
So usually the first weekend of November. So I mean, I'm sure they could play some games out. Like they've got the Blizzard Arena, so they need to do something with it.
Yeah.
Can we talk that stage for the Barclays Center was so nice. Like, oh my god,
dude,
like that was pretty cool looking.
Man, and you said you got choked up at the end. Like I got choked up at the beginning each day because like they had that narrated thing at the beginning where this guy was just talking about like, you know, doing that intense talk about here's what the teams need to do, and like then seeing the players come out on the stage. I was just so excited for them. I do wish that they'd be like a little bit more lively. You know, I understand that they're gamers and they're not like, you know, athletes jumping around getting all hyped up, but I'm like, I'd like to see a little hype. Some of them got like a little bit.
Yeah, the London Spitfire, like there was like after every game they would like stand up and try to get the crowd pumped, and I was like, okay, all right.
But Dosen has some attitude. He was trying to get people going, so I appreciated that.
Overall, though, like when going into this season, like everyone really thought like Seoul Dynasty, Dallas Fuel were gonna be top dogs, and like in the end it was NYXL, London Spitfire, the LA Valiant, Philadelphia Fusion, like So I guess, I mean, hey, you can't go in thinking these guys are just, they're going to steamroll, because it's not how it happens.
No. Also, real quick, that the trophy for the Overwatch League Champions was amazing. It looks like Reinhardt's helmet, don't you think?
Yeah.
It was so cool. It's huge, and it looks great. And then, surprise, the MVP of the playoffs gets his own trophy as well. And so that was profit from the London Spitfire. And they brought it out, and it's like this kind of like flame-looking torch thing. And it looks fucking awesome, too. And apparently it's really heavy, because like he brought it out and gave it to Profit. So he held it for a few minutes during the interview, and then he had to set it down. So, you know.
Yeah, it took like 6 of them to lift the Reinhardt looking statue. Like that looked heavy. That looked like that was like solid. Like,
well, I think they were just all holding it together. There was when he presented it to the team manager, whoever, the owner, he held it. So I mean, it was okay. They just all wanted to be a team and hold it together. But yeah. So, but I mean, they Blizzard knows how to make stuff look good, and they made those trophies look good. So. One thing I will say, I had concerns going into this part too, because Neptuno, who plays Mercy on Philadelphia Fusion, as long as I've seen him, like he always had like purple hair or some type of fun colored hair. And I was like, oh, that's great. And then coming into these finals, he just had his regular colored dark hair. And I was like, oh no.
That's like, what messed him up.
What if that was the source of his power, man?
Oh no.
I think next season he needs to keep it with the fun colors, and hopefully things will go better. So that's my 2 cents. So.
And I mean, hey, we can look forward to season 2 being amazing because Hammond will be out. So.
Yes, that's gonna be great, and the freaking Symmetra buffs. I don't even want to know what's going to happen there. That's going to get crazy.
There's actually going to be a lot of stuff changing. Like Torbjorn's getting a rework, and like
really,
Reinhardt's getting some bug fixes. Like this is going to be a really interesting. I can't wait to see what season 2 brings.
Yeah, it'll be cool. So.
All right. So overall, Sam, pretty good first season. For the Overwatch
it was an awesome first season of Overwatch League.
Yeah. So. All right, back to you, past self.
I mean, that's not how it works. You're going to have to do a time fart to take us back there.
Oh, okay. Time fart? Oh, I have to make the noise?
Yeah. No, I mean, silent but deadlies don't work. It has to be like a loud time fart to break reality and send us back.
All right. You know, for people who don't know what a time fart is, this is probably like really weird, but okay. Hey Hey, future us. Thanks for talking about that Overwatch League final. Really appreciate it. So, we got a couple quick hits for news, and then we'll get out of here because we've been going for a little bit. So first off, actually, as of today, the day we were recording this, Bungie announced the physical Grimoire collection, the first volume of it, and this is really exciting. And like the preview page of it is really nice looking. So I was telling Sam this before the podcast started. So World of Warcraft does this, and Blizzard is the one publishing this kind of stuff. And so World of Warcraft does these like big, long, like anthology books, and they're really nice. Like they have like custom art on the front, and they're really pretty. But they run you about like $40 for a book, and like it's a big book, but like this I feel is a much better deal because for 128 pages, it's only $25. And so this will be covering like some of the early stuff for Destiny's lore. I think the picture we actually see is of Oryx and his sisters and brothers. So that's kind of cool. I'm definitely picking this up. I think it's gonna be really cool to finally like get to hold Destiny lore in hand and read it. Like you get to do it in the lore tabs in Destiny 2, and the Grimoire from Destiny 1 isn't like out there. It's out there on a different website, but it's not on Bungie's website anymore. So it's just nice to have it collected finally, you know?
I didn't. Okay, you're gonna be. Okay. I didn't know there were lore tabs in Destiny 2.
Yes, every exotic has lore tabs, Sam.
Just the exotics?
Just the exotic. Well, I mean, some of the legendaries do, like stuff from the raid. Some of the Trial of the Nine stuff has it.
Okay, so apparently I need to go get my exotics and go look up some lore because I've been missing out. I didn't even know that it was there. So.
Like the Helm of Saint 14 is a really cool one. That's all. I really just look at the Titan stuff, to be honest with you.
Okay, fair enough.
Titans are big.
But this book looks cool. We only saw the one preview page, which I wish we'd seen more, but it has a really cool aesthetic to it, and it has that thing where like it looks like the page is like dirty, like it's old and stained, like it's seen some life. And then it seems like, I don't know, these drawings, there's going to be art in it that look really cool. It looks like a neat piece. I don't know if I'll get it because, like, obviously I'm not as into the lore as you are, but it certainly looks really cool. So,
I don't know. I'm excited to like have these and like have them on a bookshelf because like they look really official, and so and I've always thought about getting the World of Warcraft ones because I like World of Warcraft, but like I could never like bite the bullet and pay like $40. So $25 here, I can do that.
Well, and keep in mind, this is just volume 1, so there's no telling how many of these there's going to end up being. You might have like you probably don't remember the days when we used to have encyclopedias, and like you would have 26 volumes of books on a shelf, one for each letter of the alphabet, and you could end up with 26 grimoires.
I'd be fine with that personally. So the other quick story we want to hit on real quick is that Hellblade VR was announced for Oculus and the PS4.
No,
VR, right?
No, it's Oculus Rift and HTC Vive, so it's just for the PC.
Boo these people! I'm just
stuff. Kidding. No, I know, which kind of, I mean, it's awesome because they're releasing it, and if you own the game, you get this free VR update. So like, it's not like you have to buy a separate game for it. It's going to be there, which is really cool. You know, I've got a PS4 VR, which I would have really liked it to come there as well. Just
sure
to experience. Hopefully it will eventually. But like, this is just such an immersive game.
Wait.
What?
No, it wouldn't. Because Xbox bought them, remember?
Oh, yeah,
those
Xbox bought
dirty bastards.
That's probably why this is... Oh, snap. Okay.
Man.
That makes sense.
That makes sense. But this is really good for them. Like,
it's really good.
And Hellblade in VR is going to be spooky.
It's going to be so amazing, because, like, you have, like, the voices in your head, now you'll just have the immersive visuals for it. It's going to be great. I think this is a fantastic thing for them. I'm never going to buy another VR headset.
Same. I'll never buy one, period, probably.
Yeah.
So
I won't get to experience it, but yeah, it's gonna be great. So if you have one of those devices, I think the game is $30 probably on Steam. It goes on sale quite often, so you can get it for $20 usually. So wait for that sale, grab it, and then you're gonna have a wonderful experience with your headset. So good for them. Yeah. That's awesome.
All right, and so next week we're going to hit up on there's a couple Microsoft rumors about this next console and stuff around that. So next week we're going to hit that up. So don't think we haven't been looking at the news. Just had an extra long episode with
that trivia took longer than I thought. That No Man's Sky discussion took longer than you thought.
It did go on, but I mean, hey, it's a new game, so or not a new game, but a refreshed game. And we also have a big email to answer. Or a big question to answer next week. So, Mike, don't think we forgot about you.
Yeah, we'll get to it. I just talked too long this episode, and Cody said we were done. So,
I mean, that Schmokemon talk really got took us on the trail. So, if you want to reach out to us, and we could use a bit more questions. We're running a little low in the tank. Yeah. So you can reach us at contact@geekcardgames.com. You can reach out to us on Twitter and Facebook at geekcardgames there. You can follow our Twitch streams at twitch.tv/geekcardgames. You can watch our YouTube videos where we have our Resident Evil series going on at geekcardgames.com/YouTube. You're making a face and I don't like it.
Yeah, well, just one other thing I was gonna say, because I put in the notes to call out, if you're into Destiny and having a good time, you should come join our clan, Geek Heart Guardians, because we're having a good time. We're always looking for fun people to play with, and it's become more important now because the changes with the 6v6 Crucible. Oh. Now you have to have 3 clanmates to get your Crucible Ingram, which we can still do that, but we used to just be able to do it with 2. Now we have to have 3. So, and especially if you're on PC and you want someone to play with, because I've been playing with Jessica and we've been having a really good time, but we're the only 2 people in the clan on PC, so we would like some buddies. Yeah, that'd be all. That's all.
Okay. And if you want to join our Discord, where we're having great discussions about everything, you can find that at geekcardgames.com/Discord. If you'd be so kind, we would love a review, a like, wherever you're watching this or listening to this. It helps us out a lot. It gets the podcast out there, and we appreciate it. If you want to support us monetarily, we have geekcardgames.com/shirts. Got it right that time.
Yeah.
We can buy a t-shirt. We have a bevy of shirts out there you can choose
we need to make some more shirts. We need to talk about that.
We do.
We've got some ideas.
I need to get you that. I need to get you some pictures of me raging.
I know. I want a Cody's Corner of Rage shirt. So.
As well. I am at Comic Book Cody. Sam, where can people reach you?
I'm at SKSUVAK.
So, thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the episode this week. Sam, take it away.
We're just 2 geeks who heart games. No. Man's Sky.
Okay, I did not know. I thought you were just like, I'm done doing this outro.
You never know where I'm going with it. That's the thing. Alejandro said he does in fact have Mario Kart, but he's going to a bachelor party this weekend, so he will not be joining us. So,
see, this Alejandro fella, always making excuses for why he can't hang out with us. Getting a little worried.
He's just so popular that he doesn't have time for his digital buddies.
I mean, he's a cool dude.
He's cool, but it's fine. It's fine. We understand. Priorities, whatever.
He could at least send Barley in his place, though, or Holly.
Dude, we should have. I think actually Holly wouldn't be going to the bachelor party. Probably.
Exactly.
We should see if Holly wants to play with us.
Let's be friends with Holly.
We should.
I can talk to her about Money in the Bank.
That's some wrestling thing.
Send this to him as well. Just send this entire long clip to him real quick.